What do spirits say? What do spirits say in a darker day? What do spirits say? When the mist is all but gone, there's something inside the water. Don't know where they're coming from. They are free to roam above the sea, and their story stays with me like a haunting melody. What do spirits say? What do spirits say in a darker day? What do spirits say?
hello, and welcome back to another stream of Boomeadow Builds. We are We are building Seeker's Respite in Gimreeve. Sorry, I will get my own areas figured out shortly. Either way, we are building this wonderful map here. It is the hometown to actually two of the player characters in the game. The characters that live here are the Simic Hybrid Alchemist, Hasarook Mistweaver, and Sebastian Auger. Zegent will have to correct me on that one. Either way, they both live in this wonderful collection of floating islands here. So that's fun. But yes, so hopefully the plan is we're going to get this finished built today. Although there is the debate about whether I build the floating markets underneath and actually underlay that as a background so that you can see it very faintly underneath. But I am always open to opinions on that. So let's get started, shall we? How is everyone today anyway? I'm sorry I'm a bit late. I had an appointment this morning, so I did try and make it obvious. I did try and, well, I think I changed it on my schedule that I would be starting about an hour later today. So a little bit later than an hour late, but here we are anyway, looking at building this wonderful place. Okay. We will start here, I think. I hope everyone's having a great day. It's a bit warm today here in Australia, so that tends to happen in the middle of our summer. So I hope you're all doing well today. So yes, I have been working on some things. I've been fleshing out the spring court for one of our other wonderful player characters. We actually have all of our characters now fleshed out. The exact current makeup of the party, we've got a lot of custom classes and things. So we have from SoA, we have the Simic Hybrid Alchemist. We have the Kalishtar. I believe he's a warlock with a Great Old One patron, which is a mystery to them, so I'm very excited to play that out. We also have a Spring Eladrin Bardlock. So Eloquence Bard combined with a Succubus Soul Warlock. Pact of the Succubus Soul Warlock, so I'm excited about that as well. Then for the outliers for this, we have, I believe, a Tabaxi Warlock, Pact of the Boogie Woogie Woogie. Their patron is a very, very cool little patron that they have kind of created for this that I'm excited about. We also have a Raken Ranger. Yes, Raken Ranger. And finally, we have a Titanborn Aasimar Paragon. Now, some of these classes and races are a level of customized, customized races, customized classes from various third-party sources and things like this. So For example, the Paragon comes from the Corpus Angelus, and things like this. So if you were wondering, if you'd like me at some point to make available all of the races and species and sub races, let me know, and I will find a way to. I will figure it out. Because we actually hit 100 followers last Saturday, so that is very exciting. So I've been talking to my mod team about what we should do as a way to continue to grow the community, and just also as a way to thank everyone for being here and participating in things. So especially for those who would like more information on my custom world. Because the wonderful thing about my world setting is that it can be deemed as system agnostic. You don't have to play it in a specific setting. So that is the plan, I guess. And over time, I have actually been working on the Pantheon and things like this, because it does have its own custom Pantheon as well, and I've been going through and endeavoring to create the names for the individual deities and things like that as well. So it actually might, instead of doing all this, let's just, because this is essentially what's going to happen in this area, and it's easier for me to put green in the places where it's not.
Won't you make up your mind? 'Cause I'm getting tired of overthinking every move you make. And I can help you decide who you're loving now, and how I'm not quite there somehow. My intuition says to give you up, but my heart can't easily let you go. I try to tell myself this isn't love, and I hate that I never really know if I should stay or be alone. I'm just waiting for the fire, but you won't even try to survive. You would rather keep it all inside, and I can help you decide who you're loving now, and how I'm not quite there somehow.
So yes, this has been a project that has basically, for those people who don't know yet, this is a project that has been going on about 6 years. And I say project, but it is a game that really holds a lot of specialness to me, basically, because it was a game that I originally started, and I have learned so much through my time DMing it. on the pure basis of the fact that I did not start out in the gaming sphere at all, and it has taught me a lot about managing people, managing myself, but also things like just really simple things like even standing up for myself, my game, for my other players. And it has actually really helped me grow as a DM as well. So I for one am really excited to bring people into this and take them along for this journey. And for me, the most fun part about this is bringing new players into the world too, because actually getting to see what they're going to do with the information. I am aware that there is a lot of world lore that is behind this particular world. And I'm not particularly good at keeping it all recorded. I am not one of these DMs that takes extensive notes while we play, just because I'm just not very good at that. I can't run the game and keep track of the conversations, and so this is one of the reasons why I originally actually started recording my games, not just for my benefit, but I do have all of my previous games recorded, and I do usually make them available for my other players too, because I know that not everybody is the greatest note takers either. So I do keep that open for them to be a part of, to look back on for their own recollection. Now, this is a council building, so I do want this to be a significant looking building. See, I really like this one, but I think I'm going to build on that too. That spire building isn't gonna quite work. Let's have a look here. Because I want a spire building that's going to have a... these are so big, but this is really small. Do something like that. We'll also put it down one layer, and then we'll go back into these spire buildings and find one that works, I think. Okay. Move this back. Might have to put a different, because I like that. Might have to. Pull it out a little bit, I think. You know what? I'm going to put them up a layer. So this. Nope. Yes. I like that as the council hall. Do I like the colour though? That's the question. Or no, I think I like the dimension of it. The question is the hue. Maybe I'll make, what's this one? 28. So we'll put that up to, yeah, we'll change up some colours so it looks a bit leafy and whatnot. And then we'll come in here with this one and we'll make it nice and small. Because even though it is a detail that probably won't be seen, you know, because it is on that layer, I'll just turn it off for now, just so I can see what I'm doing here. Actually, I have an idea too. I want the gardens. These gardens in particular. Bring it down in size. repeat on the other side. Do this and this. Now this should come down too, so it is perfectly straight, just because those kind of little things actually annoy me. But we'll do it with a smaller piece because I'm going to do this and have it perfectly lined by flower beds. This one needs to be removed because I think I need this piece. Like this. Yeah, like that, I think. Hi, Tyrant Dungeon. Oh no, that's not good. Why is your back sore? That's never a good thing to hear. Oof. My condolences for your back on the usage of manual labor. Yeah, that makes sense. I can definitely understand the good old op shop clean out. Definitely understand that. Kind of have to look at doing something like that myself shortly. Okay. Like I said, you're not going to see that anyway once I bring that back in, but well, thank you for the lurk, Tyrant Dungeon. You are always welcome to be here. For those who don't know, Tyrant Dungeon is also going to be in this campaign. He is playing the Tabaxi Warlock. He is the Tabaxi Warlock who has the Pact of the Boogie Woogie Woogie. Hi Tigger Tank, how are you? It's good to have you here. Thank you for supporting the channel. I actually don't like the way these cluster together. They don't create a very nice silhouette for a town. Hi Sanderfell, how are you? And thank you for redeeming the hydration station. To everyone out there, whether it is hot or cold, please don't remember to keep hydrated. Thanks. So yes, we are populating the town here now, making it a little different, putting some extra buildings in and whatnot, so... Well, I hope you are healing up well, Xanderfell. It is hard to stay still once you've been injured, and taking the time to rest and recuperate. Yes, I hope you're looking after yourself, because that is important, obviously. The problem is when you're healing, Xanderfell, rest is one of the best things you can do for the body because that's when it is healing itself, basically. Which I know is hard if you've got a long period where you have to actually take the time off to look after yourself. The last thing you want to do is kind of sit still and wait and rest and recuperate. Thank you, Tide Runner Gaming. I will save just for you. Putting a few more buildings and townhouses and whatnot into your city. I did change up the council chamber just a little bit as well. Yes, have a look at your council hall. I put in some garden beds and things. I even put some garden beds and whatnot in the center here. Yeah, it's really hard to sit still, especially when you need to take care of yourself and things like this. I get it. I think the last time I was really like properly sick, I think I just felt like sleeping for days. Even though I knew I had an absolute metric butt ton of work. But it is a situation where you got to remind yourself a little bit that resting and recuperating is only going to help you get back to what you want to do faster. Or at least give you the energy to start attempting what you want to do, basically. Because everyone has a finite amount of energy and what they can handle. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I actually had a pretty... I was actually okay on the original strain of COVID. But yeah, no, the flus that I've gotten since having COVID have been significantly worse. Yeah, I agree, Zephyr. I think the previous flu I had to having COVID, I was pretty delirious at the time. And I think that was the time that I took to write my version of the Necronomicon for the world. Yeah, that was the Necronomicon. In my particular setting, yes, my players did encounter what was my version of the Necronomicon, which was basically allowing the Titan King to find his way back to try to rise from his punishment for trying to overthrow the original Empyrean gods of the world. Unfortunately, I was one of the ones that kind of suffered from long COVID, and even now, I haven't really bounced back from it the way that I would have liked to. But we do what we got to do to get through, basically. It doesn't help that my job ends up requiring me to work really strange hours sometimes. We'll bring this down smaller. I think all of these buildings I'm going to have to put on the second layer just so I can layer some stuff behind them. Like, mostly flower gardens, let's be honest. Because where would we be in this particular town, knowing the people that live there like I do? Where would we be in this town if they legitimately could not get their hands on some locally foraged spices and herbs? Am I right, Tide Runner? I get the impression that your character probably stole a lot of old ladies' gardens on his way to school. Because you never know what you could make out of it. Hi, Evil One. How are you? Well, even if there is that many herbalists and alchemists in this town, Zephyr, not even in this town, but all of the towns, the world is a changed world. Oh look, it also, thank you, Evil One. My favorite little ghost has come in. The wonderful Gengar. We love Gengar around here. How are you all today, anyway? That's not a particularly fun smell. I hope it's not too bad for you, Xanderfell. Also, for anyone wondering what is going on tonight, if you want to catch more wonderful tabletop content that's not necessarily fantasy, as in sword and sorcery fantasy, you can catch me over on Evil One's channel actually tonight, because we play the Power Rangers game over there on Monday nights. At the moment it is weekly. I believe that once the Australian school term goes back after the summer holidays, it will be moving to fortnightly, but at the moment you can catch us there every week on Monday nights to watch us apparently attempt to become heroes, but I wonder how that is actually going in our favour. We all seem a little chaotic. Yes, we do have the Grung Gang as well on Wednesdays, so you can definitely check that out over on Evil One's channel, which I know. Both Zephyr and I are in the Grung Gang. If you want some more D&D based stuff, yes, Wednesday fortnightly we play as frogs over there. So if you're looking for more content to watch, you can find us over there. We're a little chaotic over there. I will point out for anyone listening that the Power Rangers game probably has a slight closer to an 18 plus rating, just because the wonderful Uzu Mecha and everyone over there, we do get a little bit chaotic and there is a bit of swearing. Okay, there's a lot of swearing. I say it lightly, basically. It's up to viewer discretion, but I do like to give the warning that we do swear over on the Power Rangers game, so. Yeah. I believe, hopefully, we don't get turned into a government science experiment tonight, because somehow we've been picked up. We've been picked up by the army, so. Yeah, the Grung Game. Oh no, Zephyr. Oh no. The Grung Game is tame in comparison to the level of swearing and things like that. Yeah, each game is different. Each game is very different. But yeah, if you just like a fun time, check us out over there. It's a great place to hang out. On Sunday nights every week, we play Star Wars as well. And yeah, there are different players in each of the games. So you can find usually Valcor, Tyrant Dungeon, and Tide Runner and I. Thank you for the posture check as well. You can find us all playing Star Wars on Sunday nights. On Mondays, you can catch myself, the wonderful Dr. Psycho, Uzu Mecha, Barricade, and that Steve Man over in Power Rangers. And then in the Grung Game, you can find Valcor, Queen Zephyr, and I, as well as the wonderful Mr. Black. And we have a new frog that has joined us. So check us out over there if you like shenanigans. I don't know if bad's the right word. The grung game is... So we all have to play grung. It is very chaotic in terms of... it is a very pop culture heavy game. For example, recently we have just fought Jason. We have handed off a Dybbuk box to... I'm not 100% sure who that guy was. We've released some Necrons. We escaped from Egrup Day, which was Purge Day, basically. So, yeah. We've got, I believe, a Predator after us. There's the monster from Holes as well. That... I'm not sure if that's following us or I'm leading it to us. Not 100% sure yet. Yeah, it's just a very chaotic time over there. So... yeah, I don't think Jason can follow us. So I think he's stuck at the lake because I think that's part of his lore is that he can't leave his lake. I'd be terrified if Freddy came over after us though because he can chase us through the plane of dreams. I mean, you're welcome to share, Xanderfell. Yeah, I think that was the monster from Holes, Zephyr. Graboid. Oh, from the movie Trevor. Yeah, there you go. Tremors, not Holes. Thank you for correcting that, Evil One. Yeah, I don't know about that. Jeez. Well, that's one way to get workers, I suppose. I don't know if I'd define them as skilled workers, but you got workers. you, Queen Zephyr. It's always wonderful to have you resubscribed. Thank you. Well, that's exactly it, Xanderfell. If they don't know how to repair stuff, then... Well, if you don't know how to repair stuff, then realistically, they're not going to know how to repair your stuff. Well, that's exciting. Congratulations on the new job as well. So a lot of this build is just making it look really nice and very green and lush. So Gimri as well, and as obviously Seeker's Respite, they are part of the Court of Lightning in the Spring Court, for anyone who was wondering. That's a pretty clever way to do it. Very frustrating to the priest, though. But that is definitely a way to get around that. And I hadn't thought about it like that before. So it is a very clever way of utilizing your undead servants, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. And not only that, it's not exactly like the zombie can think for itself. So, yeah, it was endeavoring to do what it needed to do to the best of its ability. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, I have a feeling that that would be mildly terrifying, especially if that's not what you had signed up for that day. Oh, jeez. Yeah, poor guy. Thank you, Queen Zephyr. Yeah, I'm trying to keep some kind of like very um, very spring elements into it. Spring, so trying to keep the color schemes in like the pastels and the a bit more of your atypical, what you would assume is atypical Feywild kind of stuff. Trying to avoid all the oranges and stuff like that though, because that will most likely come into play with uh, the autumn courts. just trying to keep it really spring coloured and things like this. Gold, oranges, reds, kind of that transition from red. You'll see a lot of browns, a bit of green too, that real transition from sun. But you'll see a lot more of those kind of flame colours and yeah. Yeah. We'll see browns. Some of the greens are going to be more of that brown green as well. What exactly do you mean, Xanderfell? I know I have access to some things that are rituals and things like that, but are they what you would define a spell or something like that? I'm not exactly sure how you would because it does inherently seem like a magic thing. I would imagine that it would have some level of science involved with it. I mean, as a general rule, most of my player characters tend to be reasonably good aligned. Even if they are chaotic, they do tend to be more good aligned than. So creating undead isn't really something that I think a lot of them have really thought about. I don't think I've actually had too many necromancers and things like that in my parties, so. Like I said, I don't really have parties that usually have those kind of alignments, so it's not really something that I've ever really thought too much about, to be honest. Yes, my parties tend to play always chaotic, but mostly good aligned. Even then, I think the heaviest someone goes into that kind of alignment is usually lawful evil. And one of the caveats I have with my groups is basically it doesn't really matter what alignment they have as long as they have goals that align, and that's up to the players to make that work. Because yeah, everyone can have their own motivations and goals as long as what they want to, and even if their goals aren't more like 100% in alignment, they have to have something that aligns with like the party's inherent goal. Yeah, Vedetta's lawful. She's lawful neutral though. I didn't think she was lawful good. I think Arashi is lawful evil. Vincenzo, I want to say that Vincenzo is probably neutral good. I mean, Tide Runner would have to confirm that though for themselves. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of figured that. I generally find that chaotic neutral tends to be, their alignment really changes on basically how they're feeling in the moment. They might feel really strongly about some things, but are able to change at a whim, basically. I mean, would you say Vincenzo's crazy? I wouldn't say that Vincenzo is the craziest member of the party, that's for sure. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the only kind of alignment that I've found generally doesn't work in my parties is the chaotic evil, just because they can't be trusted, basically, to not screw over the party in the eventuality of, you know, in the end goal, basically. So, and I generally find that a lot of people don't play lawful good properly either. It ends up reading a lot as lawful stupid. But I find that lawful good and lawful evil are very, very close to each other in basically how they decide on things. And unfortunately, I have discovered that some people who play lawful good end up, and this is why I say lawful stupid, they end up veering into lawful evil, because lawful good is adhering to the law within the letter of the law, but doing it in the right way, i.e. they are willing to forego the conventional sense of the law to do what is right for the common people. So what will end up favouring the greater good, basically. And the greatest good, not necessarily what is societally approved as the greatest good. I definitively agree, but I also think it's one and the same. Because, and the only way to make that definition is the amount of people that turn around and go, well, it's what my player would do. It's what my character would do. Do a quick save. What about the rest of you? What are your favorite alignments to play? I also just realized, Tide Runner, where are we going to put some cranes? Because they would have cranes to get things up here from the markets below. Oh, I completely agree. It doesn't all have to be a good aligned party, I don't think. But the only thing I can talk about is from specifically my games. And my games doesn't necessarily require you to necessarily be a hero, but you do want to have to like save the world. And that's just the types of games that I tend to run. But I understand that other DMs don't necessarily run games like that. Everyone's different. Yeah, I find that generally a party does have to at least be able to function together as a group to work. But generally, that's why I do have some kind of opinion that, to a certain degree, there has to be some concessions made to be able to work as a team. But like I said, that is just based on the way that I tend to run my games. Yeah, I have a level of rules that I do adhere to, and one of those things tends to be, for example, um, I don't allow player on player violence unless it is communicated before. Like everyone that is going to be involved needs to agree on it and things like this. Hi, Cleric in a Box. How are you? It is wonderful to have you here. Yeah, I am actually doing okay today. Running a bit later than usual as I had an appointment this morning, so I thought I would continue working on this world build for the town of Seeker's Respite. Because this is the home for at least two of the characters within the campaign. I believe we're also having a bit of a conversation in the chat about alignments and what people's favourite alignments to play are and how they tend to play them and the differences with that. Ooh, Savage World. I've heard lots about that actually recently. I will say that there has been a lot of discussion about some really, really great tabletop systems that'd be really fun to consider opening into and trying. I've kind of looked at the Genesis system. I've looked at Savage Worlds. I've looked at, what is the other one? The Cypher system? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. There is a system that I am planning on running this game in. But at this point, there is so much customization that it's not. It's a bit the same cleric. It has become an amalgamation of things at this point. This game that I will be running, because there is a level of sci-fi-ness to it. I mean, I feel like there are plenty of paladins that go Oathbreaker and go dark. I feel like that there is room for growth in terms of not all growing is growing upwards. They do tend to, I suppose if you want to use a lack of a better word, devolve. But it is a thing that the character needs to go through to find their way again, I guess. Thank you for the stretch, Zephyr. It is always good to get a reminder to stretch occasionally, especially when you're sitting in front of the computer for a couple of hours doing some map building. So thank you for that. thing that matters the most is that the way that it is that growth happens is a way that actually feels satisfying to the player. And yeah, as Zephyr pointed out, it's not always the DM or the other players that are driving that. Sometimes it's an NPC that's from the player's backstory, or even an event that happened. You know, not inherently in response to something that happened with the party. Like, my Grung character in the Wednesday night game, she is having to go through a period of growth. And it has literally been from her observations with the group, the realizations that her actions have had consequences that has meant that the group might not like her as much as she has it figured out in her brain. She's not a very intelligent character. So the thing that I'm having a lot of fun actually exploring is how to change a character with the character not having the intelligence to kind of figure it out by somebody outright saying it. No one in the party wants to tell her that what she's doing is affecting the party, but she's watching the external sources around her. The way that the characters, none of the other player characters have stopped interacting with her or anything like that. But she's started to pick up on a few little cues here and there that what she's doing is impacting them in a way that is leading to her ending up alone. She's still self-motivated for what she wants to do in terms of her thing, like her own goal. But she started to realize that even though the party hasn't said anything, if she's not careful, they're all going to leave her, and she's realizing that she may be the one responsible for it. Like, the number of times that she has almost killed members of her party, and at the time, because she doesn't have the intelligence to figure it out, she's like, yeah, I did a good thing. But the reality is, the rest of the party, while they're like, yay, we won, but at what cost? Like, they see her as a liability. Yeah, it would. So yeah, not everything in a character's personal growth arc has to be motivated inherently by the party, but by one's own actions within the party and how they affect others. Oh yeah, let's not talk about the number of horses that she's kind of accidentally offed. The number is mildly staggering. I mean, she has a 6 intelligence. She has a very high wisdom. But the problem is she doesn't necessarily have the intelligence to kind of like push that growth either. So I'm having to figure it out I find it fun because I am a very heavy role player. So I do find that aspect really fun to play. But as somebody who atypically doesn't like playing characters who are inherently a hindrance to the party, this is really difficult for me because I don't like not being a useful character. And so I'm actually having a lot of fun figuring out how to have the character grow without the party actually telling her. Because even if they did tell her, if they're not telling her directly, which a lot of people would say is really mean, the way that they have to address it. But so the character kind of has to muddle it out on her own and figure it out on her own. Yeah, 6 intelligence. Normally, I don't usually play such a low intelligence character. But yeah, no, this character came about as the result of a one-shot. And we wanted to continue on and continue playing it, which meant I got to continue playing this character. Which... Oh, this isn't a game that I run. So, Yeah, this was not a game I run. I will say though, no, I don't turn around and say the minimum is an 8 or a 9. Players can take lower stats if they would choose to. The only thing I actually have is, in total, all of their stats add up to about a 71. But yeah. But if somebody wants to take the lower stat, I don't stop them from doing it. And at the time, you know, I thought it would be fun to play a low intelligence character for once. So, and it has been fun. It's resulted in some really, really good roleplay, but it's also difficult for me because I usually make, for example, strength my dump stat. So, yeah, we've seen a paladin in the game with a 3 intelligence, and he actually did really, really well. Very lucky rolls as well. However, oof. Yeah, but what he lacks in brawn, he makes up for in brains. So, yeah, I will say that Boxcar did have an animal companion who was significantly smarter than he was, Sheila. And Sheila helped him out a lot. So, however, I think I've reached the 2 hours of my build this morning. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah. However, I have reached the end of my building time for this morning. I will be back on Wednesday morning at the usual time of 11 a.m. to continue this, and I'm hoping that I will make significantly more of an impact. We will see. Okay, I'll open it up to the community. How about that? Should I continue for a little bit longer? I will, you know what, I'm going to make a poll for it, and you guys can decide if I go for a little longer. Filling out the poll quickly. There we go. The poll should be up and running, guys, for your consideration. It'll only be a poll for a minute. gummy bear. I swear to... Are we really trying to make this go a 4-way tie? Come on. Come on, guys. Well, yeah, that is true. Well, I guess it is my choice then. If no one can decide, I will go with the allocated time as per my schedule. So that would mean that this is all for Boomeadow Builds today, and I will be back Wednesday morning. I will be back Wednesday morning for more Boomeadow builds. The reason it's Wednesday morning is because Wednesday night this week is Grungang over on Evil One's channel. If you like what I do here and you want to see more of me or just interact with more of our wonderful community, you can join us over on Evil One's channel Monday, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So you are always welcome to join me. I will be back tomorrow though with some more Boomeadow plays. I believe we're doing Lost in Random again tomorrow. So bring on the threedom, because we are in the kingdom of threes finally, after beating the other Mayor Royam in the last session last week. So I hope to see you all there. If not, I will see you for more Boomeadow builds on Wednesday. If you like what I do and you are not already following, please hit the follow button, or if you're feeling really generous, please hit subscribe. And if you want to catch up on any of this later or leave me messages, you can do so on my YouTube channel of the same name, Boomeadow, or over on my Twitter, Booberry Meadows. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. And I can't wait to talk to you all again later. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Keep hydrated, look after yourselves, and I will see you later. Bye.